Hey guys, good morning. How's it going? We're going to quickly discuss about a patient with swelling in the leg, a mass in the lung, a mass in the adrenal gland, and also enlarged prostate. Healthy man suddenly starts having swelling in both the legs. Okay, and then they go for a workup, and then that showed that he's got a mass in the lung, okay, just on the plain chest X-ray. And then they did in CAT scans and PET scans. They find that there's a mass in the adrenal gland. Adrenal gland is the gland that sits on top of both the kidneys, okay? So they found there's a mass there, and then the prostate was also enlarged. They talked to somebody over there, and then they said that, hey, we need to do a biopsy of all the three of them because he could be having three different cancers at the same time. And so yesterday they were talking to me about that, and then I said, like, no, don't worry about that. And in fact, what happened was they even checked Chat GPT, I think, and then that said that since he's swollen up in the leg, cancer patients are at a high risk to develop clots in the leg. So that is a kind of a medical emergency because if it goes to the lung, that's pulmonary embolism and people can die from it. So you go to the emergency room to really get the clot first looked into, the swelling in the leg. So they were talking to me about that, and then I said, like, hey, don't worry. First, the prostate enlargement, they have to check the PSA, and if the PSA is elevated, then we need to worry about prostate cancer and all that. But if it's not elevated, first, chill out about the prostate. It's an enlarged prostate. And then the second thing, more than likely, it's one that went to the other one, okay? And more than likely, it's a lung primary that went to the adrenal, because that's common. And then in the lungs, even in a non-smoker, for example, this patient was not even a smoker. But non-smokers can get cancers too. Like especially adenocarcinoma, okay? So more than likely that's what this is, and then it's gone to the adrenal gland. So if they are able to do a biopsy, they can just go through the chest wall and the interventional radiologist can do it. And then they do further testing on it and, they just prove what it is. And then the adrenal gland biopsy, it doesn't have to be done at all. But if the lung mass biopsy shows very unclear details about the cancer, then they may have to really go do a biopsy of the adrenal also, but that's very unlikely because nowadays when you do a biopsy of the lung mass, then it clearly elucidates. And then with regards to the swelling in the leg, a lot of these cancer patients, like, lung cancer that's gone to adrenal, that would be stage 4, distant metastasis. Many of them may have really low albumin level, and if they have low albumin level, a little bit of swelling in the leg is seen, okay? But if there's swelling just in one leg and if it's hurting and all that, then that is a problem and that needs to be checked out immediately because that could be pulmonary embolism. So this is the discussion that I had yesterday, and isn't it interesting how all these are done in an algorithmic fashion? Okay, there's a good logic to how all this is worked up. So in this patient's case, the next thing that they need to do is just go get a biopsy of the lung mass, okay? Talk to you later in my next post. I hope this was educative. Goodbye.